NASA astronaut Kate Rubins will cast her vote from space. Rubins started her 6-month stay on the International Space Station in October. Rubins votes as a Texas resident. She says if she can vote from space, people on the ground should vote too.
It's critical to participate in our democracy. We consider it an honor to be able to vote from space, and so we fill out a form and we vote via absentee ballot.
A completed ballot is electronically sent to Earth from the space station. NASA planned for the SpaceX crew to join Rubins by voting in space, but their mission was delayed until November. Voting in space has been possible since 1997.
With all the excitement about the presidential election, local elections and propositions might not be on everybody's mind. But reporter Bryce Wayne breaks down one important state proposition, Proposition 17.
Voting reform is an important issue to many Californians. Proposition 17 would restore voting rights to felons and former convicts on parole. Retired parole officer Micah Sims says they should be able to vote after they've proven themselves as a functioning member of society.
I think if felons have an extended time after they've completed their parole, if they have any, or their probation, let's say extended time of 5 years where they have no new offenses, I think they should be eligible to vote.
Meanwhile, some Proposition 17 supporters say being on parole isn't a punishment. Instead, parole is supposed to reintroduce ex-convicts back into the world. But some opponents think ex-cons can't be trusted while on parole. Yet Jeff Mack, who has familial connections to felons, says every American deserves the right to vote.
I believe that if you're done serving your time, then you're a member in society again. You get all the pros and the cons of being a citizen.
If Prop 17 passes, California will join 19 states that grant paroled ex-convicts the right to vote. 2 of those states, Connecticut and Vermont, allow felons to vote from prison. Mack says he hopes to see California do the same.
And without their ability to vote, I feel that they are not able to put someone into office that could accurately represent them.
Prop 17 isn't the only voting reformation on the ballot this year in California. Prop 18 will change the rules for 17-year-olds hoping to vote in the primaries. For Valley View News, I'm Bryce Wayne.
The American Music Awards nominations are in. The Weeknd and Roddy Ricch tied for the most AMA nominations. Each has 8 nominations. First-time nominee Megan Thee Stallion has 5 nominations. She's the most nominated female artist this year. Taylor Swift has 4 nominations. If she wins, Swift can break her own record of the most AMA wins of all time. The awards show airs Sunday, November 22nd.
Last week, comedian Kevin Hart hosted the annual Muscular Dystrophy Association Telethon. Hart replaced the late Jerry Lewis, who raised nearly $2 billion in his 45 years as host. The first MDA Kevin Hart Kids Telethon streamed live for 2 hours. It featured comedy and musical performance throughout the night.
Laughing is powerful. So being able to provide that and do it all over the globe is a significant blessing and one that I do not take for granted.
The star-studded fundraiser raised more than $10.5 million. The money benefits the MDA and Hearts charity. MDA supports research and care for more than 300,000 people in the U.S. who have the disease.
Samsung Electronics chairman Lee Kun-hee died last week. A cause of death wasn't given in the official statement. He suffered a heart attack in 2014 that frequently hospitalized him. He also had lung cancer in the 1990s. His dad founded Samsung in 1938. Lee became chairman after his father's death in 1987. Now, Lee's son is taking over as the public face of the company. Lee is survived by his wife, son, 2 daughters, 4 sisters, and 7 grandchildren.
As schools continue online learning, one school librarian decided to offer her time to read to students outside. Reporter Karina Gutierrez explains how this act of goodwill helps families.
Nikki Capshaw is a librarian during the day. She works at Bret Harte Elementary School in Burbank. As schools closed due to COVID, Capshaw immediately felt the need to help her school, so she offers her time reading to kids in their front yards.
They just need something that's a little bit normal, like their old routine was. And at school, came to the library once a week. I read a story.
At what she calls the lawn library, Capshaw reads a chapter a day to every student.
Once a week, she comes once a week.
Fidelia Sia's daughter attends Bret Harte Elementary. Capshaw has been reading to her daughter since the beginning of April. She says Capshaw has read a total of 3 books to her daughter.
I think it's very a good idea for her to continue to read for the children in order to continue to establish that normacy, like of the librarian reading to you, and then the kids get a connection to their school.
Capshaw maintains her distance when reading to the kids. Since the start of the pandemic, she has read to about 20 kids throughout the week. While some enjoy story time in their front yard, others prefer connecting online.
Cried Avery, sailing out again with the frog. I have hay inside my dress.
Librarian Nikki Capshaw says she will continue reading to students at Bret Harte Elementary School until schools reopen. Reporting from Burbank, I'm Karina Gutierrez for Valley View News.
An Iowa dad created an epic Zoom meeting Halloween costume for his daughter. It's a foam board mimicking a Zoom meeting. Greg Dietzenbach put photos of his daughter as 7 different monsters in Zoom squares. When she wears the mask, her face is in the middle. The top middle square is a mirror labeled Next Victim. Dietzenbach says he thought of the idea because his children spent so much time on Zoom.
That's all for us at Valley View News. I'm Liliana Ramirez.
And I'm Nikiko Burnett. For stories any time of day, go to our website sundial.csun.edu. Thanks for watching.
A federal judge blocked President Trump's ban on TikTok. The popular video sharing app said the president's ban violates free speech and due process rights. If the courts would have sided with the administration, the app would have not been available for downloads to smartphones in the U.S. Any updates would have also been denied. The White House claims China can use the app to gather data on Americans and could possibly blackmail people. The White House said it will continue its fight to ban the app.
United Airlines pilots approved a plan to prevent nearly 3,000 furloughs. The furloughs were to start October 1st when $25 billion in federal aid expires. The airline made an agreement with the pilots' union to reduce work hours instead of having furloughs. United said it will still cut 13,000 other jobs in October. Some employees at other airlines are accepting leaves of absence or buyouts in order to reduce staff.
The Dream Center provides resources to communities throughout Los Angeles. Reporter Brittany Smith explains the Dream Center's mission of giving out free meals.
We're all over LA. You know, honestly, we have Glendale, we have some in Long Beach.
The Dream Center hands out over 11,000 meals a day to the people of LA.
We have some in Southgate.
Tatiana Galvez works with the Dream Center. She delivers meals to the homes of the elderly in the community. With the help of LA Dodgers player Justin Turner and other generous donors, the Dream Center, a religious-based nonprofit organization, set up a food drive to provide free meals for LA during this time of crisis.
We have families that live here, you know, homeless families, single mothers. They come in here and they eat and they feed on a regular basis, not just right now. They feed over 2,000 people.
For some elderly who can't leave their homes, the Dream Center's delivery is a big help. It's also free of charge. If you need a meal delivered to you or an elderly person you know of, you can apply online at thedreamcenter.org for a delivery.
Bye, Miss Gloria. Here in LA, North Hollywood, we're providing hot meals to them every day.
The Dream Center is open Monday through Friday, and they're here to serve anyone who's in need of a hot meal. In downtown LA, I'm Brittany Smith, reporting.
Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana saved his grandchild from a kidnapper. It happened at his Malibu home Saturday. The LA County Sheriff's Department says the suspect, Sodzai Dalzell, removed the 9-month-old child from a living room playpen. The former 49er quarterback and his wife confronted the woman and took the child from Dalzell's arms. She then fled the scene. Dalzell was later arrested at a nearby house. She's charged with kidnapping and burglary.
The NFL made history after 2 female coaches and a female referee worked the regular season football game. The Washington football team's full-year coaching intern, Jennifer King, and the Cleveland Browns' chief of staff, Callie Brownson, were on the sidelines for their teams. Sarah Thomas, the league's first female referee, officiated the game. Jennifer King is also the NFL's first black female full-time assistant coach. The Browns defeated Washington 34-20.
The Lakers are back in the NBA Finals. LA defeated the Denver Nuggets in 5 games Saturday night. The Lakers will make their 32nd appearance in the finals. That's the most by any team. LeBron James is making his 10th finals appearance, tied for 3rd all-time by a player, and the Lakers are 2nd in finals victories, one behind their historic rival, the Boston Celtics. The last time the Lakers made it to the finals was in 2010, capturing their 2nd straight championship, led by the late Kobe Bryant. The Lakers play the Miami Heat. Game 1 is on Wednesday.
Thousands of businesses are making adjustments because of the coronavirus. Sofia Gutierrez spoke with a family who resorted to relying on cacti and horses in order to keep their farm afloat.
The Hernandez family business continues to thrive in spite of today's business climate. They rely on cactuses and horses.
People need a place for their horses to stay. They wouldn't have them here to begin with. And they also need someone to train them constantly.
The Hernandez family business started 2 years ago. The yard was filled with cactuses from the previous homeowners. After trimming some cactuses down, horse stalls were built. People began bringing their horses for training, and cactus buyers started coming as well.
Empecé sin saber que
I started without knowing I had a business here. I was thinking about throwing the cactus out, but now instead of throwing them, I want to grow them.
Training horses and selling cactuses is a side hustle for the family. Hernandez works in landscaping, and his son recently graduated college. His degree in business administration and marketing allows him to carry that knowledge into his family's business.
I saw the opportunity, and I said, okay, I'm grateful that I'm studying this just because now I can implement it into the home business that we have here.
Many jobs considered non-essential have been jeopardized due to COVID-19. However, this family-owned business continues to keep business flowing. Reporting from Silmar, California, I'm Sofia Gutierrez.
NASA's next launch will include a $23 million space toilet. The private cargo spacecraft Cygnus is set to launch from Virginia tomorrow. It will be taking a brand new space toilet called the Universal Waste Management System, scientific experiments, and skincare from Estee Lauder to the International Space Station. Cygnus NG-14's mission will also deliver 8,000 pounds of cargo. It's the craft's 13th mission to the International Space Station. That's all for us at Valley View News. I'm Ryan Ketchum.
And I'm Amanda Alvarado. For stories any time of the day, go to our website, sundial.csun.edu. Thanks for watching.